This week's bedtime story has got one of my favourite characters in, Percy the Park Keeper. Percy the Park Keeper was planning a treasure hunt. All his animal friends were going to follow a trail of clues around the park, and the first one to reach the end would find the treasure. The animals were so excited that they couldn't wait for the hunt to begin. And the story is called The Treasure Hunt by Nick Butterworth. And as you can see in the back, I've brought some of Percy's friends along who wanted to listen. So we've got Mr. Mole, we've got Foxy, we've got Cyril the Squirrel, Baby Squirrel, Rabbit and Frog. And there's Percy himself. "Good morning," said Percy the Park Keeper as he stepped out of his hut. In his hand, Percy was holding some posters which he had just made. He pinned one of them to his door. What does it say?" asked one of Percy's rabbit friends. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Percy, and he read it out loud. It says, "I am organising a treasure hunt. All of those who would like to come, meet at the bandstand after breakfast tomorrow morning. Signed, Percy, me." "I want to come," said the badger. "Oh, so do I," said the fox. What is it?" "Well," said Percy, "it's a game. So one person goes off and leaves a trail of clues for the others to follow. The clues are messages, and then one clue leads to the next one until you find the treasure at the end." "Well, I can read a bit," said the fox. So he and the other animals stared at another of Percy's posters. Percy smiled as he noticed they were all holding it upside down. "I know," said Percy. "I'll do drawings instead of messages." Next morning, when the animals met together, there was no sign of Percy. They thought that Percy must have forgotten until one of the squirrels noticed something. "Look, there's a piece of paper with a picture on it. It could be a clue." Well, the squirrel was right. On the paper, Percy had drawn a picture of a seesaw. "That must be where we have to go first," said the badger. So they all hurried over to the playground, and sure enough, another piece of paper had been pinned to the seesaw. "I'll get it," said one of the mice, and he scampered up the seesaw. This time Percy had drawn a picture of a statue. "I know where that is," said a rabbit. "Follow me." And off they went again. By now, Percy had put nearly all his pieces of paper in place. He whistled as he walked along a favourite path at the edge of the park. "Only 2 left," said Percy, as he tucked one of his clues into a crack in a signpost. He stopped for a moment and gazed over the fields which lay beyond the park. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? Percy reached into his pocket and was pleased to find some chocolate. It was chocolate money wrapped in gold paper. "Whew, it's a good job I bought a snack," said Percy. "I'm feeling quite peckish." And slowly he ate every piece of the chocolate. Then Percy realised what he had done. He had eaten the treasure. Oh dear. Meanwhile, the animals were having great fun. Percy's trail of clues led them all over the park. The seesaw, the statue, the tool shed, the bridge, and in every place they found a picture showing them where to go next. But now, as they searched for a clue around a signpost at the edge of the park, it didn't seem quite so easy. "Oh, bother," said the badger. "I can't see a clue anywhere." The fox kept looking at the letters on the signpost. He was sure they were trying to tell him something. "I wonder," he muttered to himself. Suddenly the fox announced, "This signpost is the next clue. We have to follow it." "But it leads out of the park," said the hedgehog. It was too late. The fox had already set off. The others looked at each other, and then they followed after him. The fox led them across a field, and in the middle there stood a tall tree which had been struck by lightning. Further on there was a cattle shelter. Something was moving behind it. "Well, it looks like Percy," said the fox. "That must be where he's putting the treasure." So the animals rushed towards the cattle shelter. It wasn't Percy, but there was something there, and the something said, "Moo!" It was a young calf. "Moo!" said the calf loudly again. The animals squealed and ran in fright towards the tree in the middle of the field. The calf chased after them. She just wanted to play. You see that? The animals scrambled up the tree as fast as they could. They didn't like this game at all. "What do we do now?" wailed the hedgehog. He was answered by someone who had been watching it all. Can we see it's Percy there? "You won't find any clues up there," chuckled Percy. "Why don't you come down and meet Lucy?" Lucy the calf was very friendly. When the animals had calmed down and been properly introduced, she gave them a ride across the field to the park fence. Everyone chattered happily as they bumped along. "We didn't find the treasure," said the fox, "but we did find a friend." Percy coughed and wiped the corner of his mouth with a handkerchief. "Oh, don't you think friends are better than real treasure?" he said. "Well," said the hedgehog, "I think they're about the same." Percy smiled. "I think you're right," he said. There we are. So they didn't find the treasure, but they did find a lovely new friend. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. There'll be another Percy one next week with maybe some different characters as well. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.